to get your point of view across was so aggravating to the point of almost rage. And that's when we heard about CCI, Canine Companions for Independence. And I didn't really want to take advantage of it. I thought that there were a lot of other people that were more worthy of receiving the type of animals that they produce. And after interviews with them and actually going out and visiting the site in California, realized that this would be what I need to help further my transition into being a civilian. What I found out once we were accepted into the program, which was, I think we had a big, huge celebration about it. It was, it just felt like I conquered the world when we got accepted. And we found our date that we were going out for 2 weeks to actually train with the dogs and become a handler. And once we got to the facility, which is absolutely beautiful, it's in Oceanside, California, and they actually have rooms there that you can stay in for the 2 weeks, that the money was donated by Dean Koontz, who was one of my favorite authors of all time. He actually received a CCI dog that did not make it into the program, that did not graduate. And he bonded with Trixie, which was the dog's name, to the point where when Trixie passed away, he started writing books about Trixie. He wrote nonfiction, and then he started writing children's books. All of the proceeds from those books go back to CCI to help out with the food for the animals, with all the care that they get at the facility, which is absolutely amazing. I've never encountered a facility that takes care of the animals as much as they do. When we visited for the first time, we were shown everything from the grooming center to the puppy raising program, where the puppies are hand selected from their own breeders. And if they have any issues at all, they don't make it into the program. From there, the puppies go to a puppy raiser. So from 8 weeks old, these puppies are trained to be service animals. Once they reach CCI at Oceanside, California, that's kind of their college. That's where the meat really, meat really hits it. So, excuse me. So the training that goes on is, are they aggressive when someone tries to get near their food? Do they scare easy? Are they too excitable? A lot of these things are tested and trained out of them, so that when we go to the training program, they bring in multiple dogs, not just one specifically for you, but they bring in multiple dogs. And they watch you for the first 3 days. And Thursday night, you actually get paired with your service animal, and you get to keep them in your room instead of taking them back to the kennel, which at that point is just, the bond really hits. It's almost like, almost like having having that battle buddy, having that comrade to be with you, having someone to watch your back all the time. And everything that Gottlieb knows, when I get upset, he knows. He comes to comfort me. When I drop things, he's right there to pick them up. If my arms are full and we're going into a building, he hits the handicap button for me. He can call an elevator, turn light switches on and off. He can even help me out of bed. There's been quite a few days my back is so bad that I can't sit up. And he has commands that I give him to help get me up out of bed. He can go to the refrigerator, which is very handy when I'm cooking. I can tell Gottlieb, pull, he'll open the refrigerator, I'll grab something, use it, put it back, tell him push, he closes the door. It really is just, having someone watching your back all the time. Anything you need, he's there to facilitate that. And that whole bond that took place over those 2 weeks has multiplied so much to the point where the service life of these animals ranges anywhere from 8 to 12 years. And we have bonded so much that I can't fathom thinking about retiring him at any time, and then eventually having to go get another service animal and go through the same process. The bond that we have is it's unbreakable, and it's actually given my fiance her freedom back. Instead of having to go with me everywhere I go, having to cancel her plans so that we can go do things that have to be done at the VA or anywhere else, I now have Gottlieb, and he walks right beside me. If I get nervous, he's right there. If I get upset, he leans into my leg just to let me know that he's there. And it's given me my freedom. I can go shopping in the middle of the day now. And it's actually been quite good therapy. It's been immersion therapy. I have no choice but to be in public, working with different nonprofit organizations that I interact with, including CCI. I do events where I have to be in public. Having him makes it so much easier. I'm not a basket case. So there is quite a bit to be said for having the animal companion right next to you and knowing everything that he's capable of doing. The relationship and the bond that you have with the animal is much different than what you have with a human. A lot of times I would get very upset that I had to rely on my fiance for everything. I would, again, dropping things all over the house. I couldn't pick them up. So that being a reminder of I'm not the same person anymore, every day it starts eating away at you, and it's really counterproductive in your recovery process. So it got to the point where I did start resenting the fact that I had to rely on others. I was not physically capable of doing things that 2 years ago I was doing so much more. Even simple things, riding a bike, is extremely difficult just for the lower back to be able to ride. When I was in the military, I worked out, about 4 hours in the gym every other day. And now, I'm not supposed to lift more than 5 pounds. So, letting my body fall apart and then having that aggravate other issues, and then having to rely on people even more is just, it makes you feel inferior in a lot of ways. And that's, unfortunately, when disabilities happen, that's one of the first things that goes through your mind is, you know, that sense of, that the overly oversized sense of pride, you know, that you have about yourself and all your accomplishments, and knowing that those don't mean anything anymore. You have to make new accomplishments. You have to do new things in new ways, and you have to start from scratch. That does make it a lot harder. But the good thing about having Gottlieb is that no matter what mood I'm in, I can talk to him. You know, he'll put his head on my lap, you know, after he's helped me, and, you know, I have to give him the praise if he's helped me do something, you know, the good boy, and rub his ears, and just doing that puts a whole new perspective on it. I mean, knowing that I have to positively reinforce what he does to continue his training makes it a little bit easier, because you can't be in a bad mood when you're rubbing ears and saying good boy, and, you know, you see a tail wagging and you're getting licked in the face. You can't be in a bad mood. And I think it's a little inappropriate if humans did it, but, you know, for the service animals to be right there with you, wanting to work. And that's the greatest thing about these dogs from CCI, is they have the drive to help. They want to work. When you're not working them, they're depressed. You know, I've noticed Gottlieb, he will, if we're not doing anything, if I'm not going anywhere that day, we're just hanging around the house, he's got this look on his face like, please, can we go somewhere, do something? Can I, you know, so just knowing that they have that drive, and that drive is the same drive that you have. You know, you want to accomplish everything on your own. They want to help you accomplish everything. And just having that completely changed where I was in my recovery. Some of the other nonprofits that I work with, the people that I interact with in those nonprofits have noticed since I've gotten Gottlieb in February of last year, my speech has gotten better. My interaction with people has gotten better. My fear of going into public places has all but gone away. So it's a very important thing to me to have that bond again, and that is unbreakable. There's no measure of any kind that could compare to what he gives me.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
Thank you, boy.